Hello everyone, welcome to my first video of Train Simulator. Today we are going to be in Switzerland, southeastern Switzerland, on the Rhaetian Railway, which is locally known as the Rhätische Bahn. I'll just give you a brief introduction while it loads. So we are driving along the Albula section of the railway, which goes from Thusis to St. Moritz. We are going to be driving an Inter-Regio service. This particular Inter-Regio actually starts in the city of Chur and goes to St. Moritz, but the section from Chur to Thusis is not there on Train Simulator. So let's just assume that another driver drove it till Thusis and we are taking over from Thusis to St. Moritz. The Albula section, the Albula Railway, has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008, and you will see why as we drive along the route. Okay, so here we are inside the locomotive and the game has begun. This is the locomotive. It is a GE 4x4 2 class locomotive, which is one of the main locomotives of the Rhaetian Railway. This particular one is number 619 and it's named Samedan, as you can see here. Our train consists of about 8 coaches, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's right. Yeah. These are the second class coaches. You can see the seating is 2x2. And the ones with the yellow stripes, those are first class sections. There the seating is 2x1. And at the end of it, we also have a baggage car. So inside the locomotive, you can actually see the Inter-Regio service from St. Moritz to Thusis in the other direction. That's crossing us here. They are scheduled to cross at Thusis. So yeah. It has come to a halt. Now, our departure time is going to be 10:30. You can see the time here. We are going to be following the timetable of an actual Rhaetian Railway train. I have made the scenario in that way. So you'll see how accurate the game is. It actually takes that much time. Let's just open the doors to allow the passengers to board our train. Yeah? So I've opened the doors. You can see this timer that has started here. This will disappear a few seconds before 10:30, before our departure time. So let's again go onto the platform and have a look. You can see the doors are open. Yeah. Have an aerial view. The 2 trains are waiting. One engine is just moving there. That is a GE 6x6 tube locomotive that's mainly used for goods services on the line, goods and freight. Yeah, it's probably doing some shunting in the yard. And this is Thusis. Let's go back inside the locomotive. I'll switch the cabin lights on. This is the main control wheel to put the throttle. It's very interesting because if you set the throttle at like 30%, the train won't go above 30 kilometers per hour. If you set it at 45%, it won't go above 45 kilometers per hour. So you can easily follow the speed limit that way. Oops, the other train has just departed the yard. Let's switch on our headlights. All 3 of them on. This is the speedometer here. I'll be using the controls here as well as some controls on the keypad. You can see this is our speed and this is the speed limit. It's almost 10:30. The doors will close soon. Yep. Let's release the brakes and start moving. So as you can see, the speed limit is currently 45. I will make this to 45%. And here we go, green signals. There are some coaches lying around in the yard of Thusis. Yeah. Now you can see when the speed limit changes, you can see it here in yellow, 50, 60, like that. So what you have to basically do, you have to wait for the entire train to pass that, then this will increase to 50. Yeah. So we'll push it one more notch. This is a short double track section after Thusis. So in case the downhill train is late, we can still start moving from Thusis instead of waiting there to cross it. Yeah. Now I'll explain to you how the actual speed limit signs work. So now we are going from a speed limit of 50. You can see the board where it says 55 and 60. 55 is for goods trains, 60 is for express passenger trains. So you have to wait for the end of your train to cross it, and then you can accelerate to 60. When it's the other way around, when you're going from a higher speed limit to the lower speed limit, you will first see the speed limit board to warn you, and then you'll see another white board with black diagonal lines across it. That is when the speed limit comes into effect. So this is the whistle of the train. Okay, this is just a small station called Sills, yeah. Not even a station, just a passing loop. See, you can see 55 board is there, so I will reduce this to 55, brake a bit. And this board with the black lines, that's the limit comes into effect from then. So basically after Thusis we have entered the Albula Valley, and we are going to be continuously winding in and out of it throughout the journey today. So let's go one more time. You can see here the board saying 45 and 50, so our next limit is 50. If I just reduce the throttle to 50%, it will automatically slow down because of the gradient. There's no need to brake anymore. So it's already reached 50, and when we pass that board, the speed limit comes into effect. This changes to 50. Let's have a look outside. This is our train, and the back of the train entering our first tunnel. As you can see here, our next halt is Stephen Castle. At 10:46 is the arrival time and 10:47 is the departure time. It's in about 9.6 kilometers. The whole Albula section of the railway line from Thusis to St. Moritz is about 60 kilometers. Continuously along the side of the mountain, bridges, tunnels, curves. Apart from these Inter-Regio trains which run every hour in each direction, there are also special tourist trains like the Glacier Express and the Bernina Express. There's an extra charge for them, but they have those panoramic coaches with big glass windows, and they have the announcements showing you the various sites along the way. So hopefully we will cross one or two of those during our journey. Now there's a board saying 65. So we will cross it, but we have to wait for our entire train to cross it. Here we go, 65. But at the end of the tunnel, it's going back to 55 and then 50 and 55 again. You can see it here, along with the gradient we are climbing up. $55 board. Let's go 2 down to 55. $50 board, and one more to 50. Yeah. $55 again, so let's wait for the entire train to pass the board and we will accelerate to 55. So I'm using the letters on the keypad A and D to increase and decrease the throttle. But if you actually see when I do it, you can see the wheel moving every time I do it. That was just to show you. $50, let's reduce to 50. This is the view where you can go outside and wait for your train to come on the section. Here it is across the bridge. Back in the cab. It's a little hot, so let me just pull down the windows. Huh? On that side, I'll just pull down the windows. The limit has changed to 65 here, so we shall increase the speed. I think that's a yellow signal coming up. It's a signal indicating that the next signal is red, but we've got the main line. We are actually coming into Solace, which is a small station. Trains hardly stop here. There, we got the alarm also. So firstly reduced to 50 because of the speed restriction, but then there's a red signal ahead, so we'll have to slow down. Reduce to idle and start braking. Probably a crossing. Alright, let's stop. There it's. Oh, it's a Glacier Express train. See the one with the big windows, yeah? The restaurant car in the middle. and the coaches. So that has crossed us. Our signal has become green. We can continue. So this is Solus. Immediately after this is the Solus Viaduct, a bridge. It is about 89 meters high. It's one of the tallest bridges on the Rhaetian Railway. So for that we shall slow down a bit. We shall go outside and this is the bridge parallel to the road bridge. Let's cross over to the other side, and there you go. Our train is crossing the bridge, and this is how high it is. You can see the river down there. Back in the cab, the speed limit is now 60, so let's increase it to 60. There is also the passenger view here. Takes you inside the coach. You can be a passenger on the train. There is the view where you can stick your head out of the cab window, look behind and front. However, when you're inside the tunnels, it doesn't give you any other view except the cab view. So board for 50, so let me reduce it. I need to brake because the gradient is not too much, otherwise the train will not slow down in time. I just love the whistle of the train, so yeah. Green signal there. Our next halt, Castle, is just about 2 kilometers away, a little more. You can see it coming up here on this map, or whatever you want to call it. Castle in green, it's marked in green, and the distance is reducing as we come near it. Oops, another yellow signal. We'll probably have to wait for another crossing at Castle. Hopefully it's on time and won't delay us. So every time you pass a danger signal like this, you'll get the warning. See? And if I don't acknowledge it by either clicking on this or pressing the Q button, in time the emergency brakes will automatically get set. So start reducing the throttle a little bit. And Tiefenkastel is here. Come to a stop. Open the doors. And again you can see this timer here. A few seconds before 10:47, which is our departure time, the doors will shut automatically. We are probably waiting for something to come around that curve. Let me show you something else while we are waiting. You can also open the cab door. Come on. Yep. And if you go out here, it will actually show you that it's open and you can see me sitting there. Let's shut it again. It's almost 47 our departure time. Here it comes. A freight train. It's carrying some tankers. Yep. Our signal is green. We can leave a few seconds late. No problem. Bye bye Tiefenkastel. Okay, speed limit of 45 coming up. That's where the 45 will come into effect from, and I'm already below 45, so it's okay. So our next halt you can see here, it's Filisur in 9.9 kilometers. 11 o'clock is the arrival time, 11:02 is the departure time. Between Tiefenkastel and Filisur, there will be two other small stations that are no longer in use much for passengers, Suraba and Alvanio. So I think 1 or 2 passenger trains in a day stop there. They are hardly used anymore. So. And just before Filisur is one of the most famous landmarks of the Rhaetian Railway. It's the Landwasser Viaduct. It's a tall 65-meter high curved stone arch viaduct which curves directly into a tunnel built into the cliff face. You will see it when we come to it. Oh, we are going faster than the cars on the road. You just want to see what the wipers look like. It's not raining right now, but you can have a look. Here we are climbing up the valley. Then there are other views like from the top and the front of the locomotive. Then the aerial view, bird's eye view. Railway line, river and road. So let's get back in the cab. Oops, there's a speed limit of 50 coming up, I didn't see it. See, if I don't slow down in time, I'll get a speeding warning. .55. Even if I accelerate slightly before the back of my train passes it, I'll get a speeding warning again. So yes. 60 now. The signal indicates we are coming to the first station I was talking about, Surava. There's a level crossing right before the station there, so I'll just whistle. There you go. Surava. One empty coach is lying here. A couple of them actually, one more ahead. Oh, it's 65. Yep, I may have missed it. The construction of this railway line began in September 1898. I can't imagine how they built it in those days. And it finally opened in 1903. It has about 55 bridges and 39 tunnels. This section that we are driving on today. So. I don't know all this by heart, I'm just reading it from websites. Yeah. Just look around the camera. I pressed the spacebar for the whistle, but you can alternatively also click on this button in the middle of the throttle. That's the whistle there. .55 board we passed, so slowly bring it down to 55. At Filisur, we are scheduled to cross the Inter-Regio in the opposite direction, the same way we crossed it at Thusis. So if they run a train every hour in each direction, then it will cross each other every half an hour. So we left Thusis at 10:30 and Filisur will be at 11, so it's time to perfection. Now we are coming to the second station, Albania. Oh, there's something waiting there. It's a goods train. Oh, and it has two locomotives. It's a long one. Oh, for the grocery store, Co-op. Yeah. Probably empty and going down the valley to pick up more stuff and come back up. And apart from crossing the other Inter-Regio service at Filisur, we will also join the track that comes from Davos, which is another branch of the Rhaetian Railway. So there's a single track that comes from Davos to Filisur. It will join us from the left side, just before Filisur. And if you are lucky, you'll probably see the train that comes from there. The timing is made to match the crossing of the two Inter-Regio services, so that people can get their connections to go in each and every direction that they want to go. About a little more than 2 kilometers are left. We are approaching the Landwasser Viaduct that I was talking about earlier. Let's go outside. Before that, there you can see the viaduct there in the top right corner, but before that we are just going to go over the Schmittenoble Viaduct, which is a shorter one, about 35 meters high. Okay. Here we go. Speed limit reduces to 45 for the Landwasser. A short tunnel, I will reduce it below 45 so that you can have a look. There you can see the curve and it goes directly into the tunnel there. Let's head back out. Yeah? Here we go. Over the Landwasser Viaduct and into the tunnel. Yeah, let's get back in the cab. Green. Once again, there's a short double track section here before Filisur. In case one train is late, this is like in case our train is late, the other one can come till here and wait instead of waiting at Filisur. So. But we are running bang on time right now. In fact, maybe even before time. Alright, again a yellow signal, which means that the other train has not even entered Filisur as yet. Wow. But like I said, you will see, there you can see that was the train that has come from Davos. I'll just go out to show you. That's the railway line coming from up there on our left side. And we are entering Filisur, so I'll slow down. The train on the left that you see there on that platform, the adjacent platform, that has come from Davos. And you can see the one from St. Moritz also come. Yep, perfect timing. And let's stop. Open the doors. Our signal has also become green. So basically at Filisur what happens, all the three trains come together. People from each direction, whether they come from St. Moritz or whether they come from Chur, they can get into the train that goes back to Davos. And even if they come from Davos, they can get into either of the trains that goes to St. Moritz or to Chur. So you have connections in all directions. There's an old turntable here. Let's get back in the cab and wait. 11:02 is our departure time. And the Inter-Regio to Chur is departing. There it goes. Let's watch this departure from the platform. In a few seconds, the doors will close. That's it, 11:02, release the brakes and start moving. And here after Filisur, we are going to enter our first spiral tunnel. A spiral tunnel which is used to gain altitude. So it's coming up in a minute. The next stop, as you can see, is here Bergün. It's at 11:13. The departure time from Bergün is 11:14. Here it is, we are entering the first spiral tunnel that we are going to be facing. I'll show you on the map. Center here. Here. This is how it is. So just to gain altitude, we are doing one circle. And when we come out, we will be able to see the track below where we were right now or a couple of minutes ago. The speed limit remains at 50 km per hour for the entire section of this climb till Bergün, and actually for quite a bit of distance after that as well. So it's because of the many curves and the gradient, it stays at 50. Now we are out of the two tunnels, so if you go out, you can see the track below us there. That's where we were a few minutes, or actually just a couple of minutes ago maybe. We had gone into this tunnel, and now you can see there are train behind the trees that's going above it. Yeah. This tunnel after tunnel, curve after curve here for this section. Between Filisur and Berggrund, there is one other, it's not a station exactly, it's just a passing loop where there's a double track section for trains to cross each other. It's called STUGL, it's Dougal or something, not sure of the pronunciation. Currently, the locomotive that we are driving is not used for these Inter-Regio services anymore. They use mostly the GE 4x4 class 3 locomotive. This is the 2 variant of it. And also the coaches, as you can see. Let's go back. These are like the older coaches that they used to use on this railway line. They are still used on the Rhaetian Railway, but not so much on this section. They use the more modern coaches on this route. So. Once again, you can put your head out of the window and have a look as we curve. I really don't know how they built this railway line in the 1900s. And here we've come to the crossing loop. We had a green signal, so we don't have to wait for any other train, and there is no other train waiting for us either, so maybe less traffic today. About 2.8 kilometers left for Berggrund. At Berggrund, they also have a railway museum that shows you about the history of this railway line. and they have a model of an old locomotive that they used to use. It's not there in Train Simulator, but it's there at the actual station. So if you ever go there, you can have a look at it. It's become a passenger for some time. Inside the coaches, they have advertisements of special steam trains that they run on certain occasions. Here you can see the train curving up ahead. And Bergen has come on the map here in 1.3 kilometers. We are almost there, just one more tunnel after this one and we will be there. Once again the yellow signal indicating that we will probably have to wait for something to cross at Bergen. We are about 20 seconds late, no problem. Open the doors. Outside. Bergen. There it comes. Oh, I guess it's a Bernina Express train. The other panoramic train I was talking about. Yes, here it is with those big windows. Bernina Express written on the side. I would have taken you behind to have a closer look at it, but it's almost our departure time right now, 11:14, so we should get going. Now this section between Bergen and Preda, the next stop Preda, is very interesting. The height difference between the two stations is 400 meters, a little more than that, whereas the distance between the two, the straight distance as the crow flies, is just 6 kilometers. So in that 6 kilometers it had to gain 400 meters of height, which was very difficult to do, keeping in mind the maximum slope of the railway line. So what the engineers did, they lengthened the route to 12 kilometers, which is almost double the distance. They lengthened it by making 2 U-turn tunnels to gain altitude, which we are about to go in. So actually you can see the railway line up there also on that level. So we are about to go into 2 tunnels where we take a U-turn to gain altitude, and then later on is something more interesting. I'll tell you when the time comes. So first I'll just show you on the map. We are here, you can see us winding away. We will go into 1 tunnel and then another tunnel just to gain height. When we come out of this tunnel, I will look out of the left window and you will be able to see the railway line below us. Here we go. Not yet. There you can see the railway line below us. That's where we just came from 2 minutes ago. And we are curving now. If you actually go high enough, you can see the railway line above us as well. So down there, where we are in the middle, and up above us, where we are about to go. And that's the town of Bergen below us. Yeah. Preda is about 9.7 kilometers away. Now if you look out of the right side window, you will see 2 layers of railway line below us. One here under the trees and one in the distance there. There you can see the chairlift to take skiers in the winter. They're actually moving now. Yeah? So this was one of the interesting sections. The other interesting section comes after a cabin called Mort. It's another like crossing station between Bergen and Preda. So after we pass Mort, M-U-O-T, we will come to the really interesting part where there are 3 spiral tunnels to gain height. And also we crossed the Albula Valley 4 times in the process. So in a span of about 5 minutes, we cross 4 times and go through 3 spiral tunnels. Uh-oh, another yellow signal. Once again, we have to come to a halt. Signal is rare, we have to probably wait for it. There it's come. A goods train carrying post. These are all post or mail, Swiss post. It's a long one. Green, we can carry on. So get ready for the roller coaster ride. This bridge you can see that we are coming upon. That will be the Albula Viaduct 1. It's the first time we are crossing the Albula Valley. And up there is the railway line. We are entering our first spiral tunnel. As you can see here, this is where our train is. It's going in the first spiral tunnel. We'll continue across the valley for a second time. Second spiral tunnel, across the valley a third time. Across the valley the fourth time, and then the third spiral tunnel. So, yeah. About 5.3 kilometers to Preda. Arrival time is 11:31. Now we are up here. You can probably see the railway line down there below. That was the first time we crossed the valley on that bridge. Let's do one thing, let's get out of the train above the tree line and follow it here. This is the second bridge. It's going over the second Albula Viaduct too, crossing the valley for the second time. And there you can see the third bridge in the background. That's the third bridge. Here comes the train. It's going into the second spiral tunnel now. Let's go higher up. It will come out from the tunnel here. Give it a few seconds and it will be here. Here it comes. Crossing the valley for the third time on the Albula Viaduct 3. These are some avalanche galleries made to save the track if there are avalanches. And this is the last valley crossing, the fourth valley crossing, Albula Viaduct 4. Here it comes. And after crossing the valley for the fourth time, we are entering the third and final spiral tunnel. We will come out of the tunnel over here. Sorry. Over here. There's a speed limit of 45 coming up very soon after the end of the tunnel, so I will slow down and get back into the cab. Here it's come. Let's get into the cab 45. Preda, the next station, it's the highest station on this section of the railway. Its height is about 1,800 meters or a little less than that if I'm not mistaken, or almost 5,900 feet, something like that. After Preda, we entered the Albula Tunnel. It's a 6-kilometer long tunnel built underneath the Albula Pass, so we will take quite a lot of time to go through it, about 5 minutes or so. The speed limit has increased to 50 again, and we are coming to a double track section again made to help trains to cross each other. Here. $60. There you go. Because of the double track section, that train could already start leaving Preda and coming downwards. That was the next Inter-Regio to Chur, from St. Moritz to Chur. And here we are arriving at Breda. Open the doors. This, what you can see in front, is the entrance to the Albula Tunnel, 6 kilometers long. Currently on the actual Rhaetian Railway, they are building a second tunnel parallel to this one on the left side, if I'm not mistaken. So they will use the new one and keep this as an emergency tunnel or something like that. This is the station building. Breda. In the tunnel, we are going to be reaching a top speed of 90 kilometers per hour, which is the fastest we are doing on this journey. It's going to be complete darkness for about 5 minutes, so you can fast forward if you do not want to watch it. The doors have shut. It is 11:32, time to depart. Into the Albula Tunnel we go. It's long, straight and dark. The board of 90. Here we are doing 90 kilometers per hour. The top speed of the locomotive is 100, but we are never going to get a chance to reach that. As you can see, the next stop is Samedan. The arrival is supposed to be 11:45 and the departure is supposed to be 11:49. There is a 4-minute halt at Samedan. The actual Inter-Regio service also has a halt, a stop on request rather, at a station called Spinas, which is immediately at the other end of this tunnel. It's a halt on request. If a passenger on the train wants to get off, he has to press the button. But we shall not be stopping there today. And after we pass Spinas, we'll come to a downhill section, our only downhill section for the journey. And I will show you that this throttle control, like if I set it at 60%, the speed will not remain at 60, it will go beyond that due to gravity. So I have to manually apply the brakes to keep the speed at 60. You can see here on the map the downhill section that is shown. The speed limit is changing to 80 kilometers per hour just before the tunnel ends. Apply the brakes a bit, slow it down to 80. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, 80. And the board saying 60, so we shall let it down to 60. This is Spina station that I was talking about. Oh, there's a goods train waiting for us to cross. And we are at 60. Now this is the downhill section. See, if I don't put the brakes, the speed increases to 62. So let's put the brakes. More. Yep, we are good for now. So at the end of this downhill run, there'll be a sharp right turn, and from the left side we will join the line that comes, the branch of the Rhaetian Railway that comes from Scuol Tarasp. Yeah, confusing names. So it will join us from the left side, and it will join us at a station called Bever. Bever. Again, our Inter-Regio service doesn't have a halt at Bever, but the service that goes to Scuol Tarasp has a halt at Bever. So it's served by that train and not by us. You can see the speed limit of 30 showing here. That's for the sharp right curve that I was talking about. And also the warning signal telling me I have to slow down to 30. These houses you can see is the town of Bever. We're almost there. When we pass this signal, the speed limit will change to 30. This is the sharp right curve. If I'm not mistaken, again, on the actual Rhaetian railway, the speed limit of this curve is 45 and not 30. Oh, that's the train that has come from Scuol Taras. Very nice to meet it here. This is Bever station. That train has a halt. We will be skipping without stopping. You can see it has halted there. Our signal is green, it's got a red signal and the speed limit is 80. The curve is done, let's go. It's changing to 90 once again. But that signal means I have to slow down to 45 kilometers per hour by the time I reach the next signal. We are almost at Samedan and the entry into Samedan is supposed to be made at 45. So when I pass this signal, the speed limit will change to 45. We are running well before time here. 11:45 is supposed to be the arrival time. It's just 11:42. And 11:49 is the departure time, so it will be quite a long halt here. I think we are switching on to platform 2 here. Yep. Spare coaches are there in the yard. Apply the brakes and come to a halt. Open the door, let the passengers get down. It's 11:43, we won't be departing till 11:49, so you can fast forward for about 5 or 6 minutes if you like. In the meantime, let's have a look around Samedan. Oh, that's the train that's coming from Scuol Taras, the one we overtook at Bever. It's probably terminating its journey here at Samedan. These are some goods wagons, timber, wood, some containers, tankers. There you can see a spare Glacier Express coach and a Bernina Express coach. That's Samedan town that you can see there. Ahead of Samedan, the line to St. Moritz goes straight down there into that tunnel that goes under the road, and the track to the left goes to Pontresina, and it further joins the Bernina line, which goes over the Bernina Pass to Tirano in Italy. That Bernina line starts at St. Moritz, which is further north. Further up here, I mean. So it's basically like a triangle. From St. Moritz, the Bernina line goes to Pontresina. From Samedan, our line goes to St. Moritz, and another line goes to Pontresina as well. Let's get back into the engine and wait. Since we are at a higher altitude, we can shut the windows now. It's quite cool. Some train is coming. Probably a goods train. Some mixed wagons of tankers, boxcars, containers. And we've got the green signal, but still a minute left for departure. Our final destination, St. Moritz, is just about 10 minutes away, with a short stop at Celerina on the way. Alright, the doors have shut. It's almost 49. Let's go. And a train is coming from Pontresina. Speed limit has changed to 65 here, so let's go. Next stop, Celerina, 11:52, just about 2 kilometers away. Speed limit changing to 80. Wait for the train to pass and go. Too early. Ooh. $65, come back down. $50. And we are entering Celerina. And our signal is red, which means we'll have to wait for something to cross. $11:53 is our departure time. Let's see if it comes by then. Yeah, I think it's a Glacier Express train only. Yeah, it's coming. Here it comes, another Glacier Express. It's past our departure time already. Green, let's go. Now St. Moritz is just about 2.5 kilometers away. Arrival time is supposed to be 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got a lot of time. There are a couple of tunnels before we reach St. Moritz. And another warning signal indicating that the speed limit for the next signal is going to be 30 kilometers per hour. final tunnel before St. Moritz. A spare Glacier Express train is waiting here. On the left, coming from that bridge, is the Bernina line that also terminates at St. Moritz. That is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's probably a Bernina line train waiting to leave. And this is the next Inter-Regio to Chur. Departure time is 12:02 if I'm not mistaken. Let's come to a smooth stop at our final destination. Open the doors, let the passengers get out. This is St. Moritz station. We have reached the end of our journey. So thank you everyone for traveling with me on my first train simulator video. Thank you. Bye-bye.